Hello, beauties. So, as requested, here is a recording of tuning into support when you are a person that is providing support, but sometimes you need in those moments to access some support in yourself from, drawing on in this case, your structure, your physical structure, and also, the larger living structure underneath your feet. So just taking a few breaths and bringing yourself into a little bit more of a mindful state, like what's happening in your breath right now, what's happening in your mind, just acknowledging there's some things happening there. But the empowerment is that you get to put your focus where you decide to. This is empowerment. And so we put our focus in this moment to the breath coming in, receiving life, and the breath going out. And maybe it's a little harder than usual. Maybe it feels easy. But just noticing your breath coming in, life entering your body, and breath going out. And letting yourself soften a little. Maybe soften the low jaw away from the upper jaw. And now for a moment, as we settle a little more in each exhale, bring our hands just in front of us and imagine that this is the occipital bone that is supporting underneath our skull. Yeah. So this is a nice little supportive bone. And the interesting thing about this bone is that there are two indents that are shaped like feet on either side of this bone. So you can imagine that you're settling into the feet of your head. So there's some support there. Let's tuck the chin in a little, keep that breath moving, and settle the weight of the skull into this bone of the hands. We're imagining now the skull settling in, and the heaviness of the brain even begins to settle a little deeper into the skull. Just imagining that happening in whatever way feels good. Keep that chin a little tucked in so we're letting that come to rest in the right place. And we're aligning with the support of the rest of your structure. Mm. And now, as you settle on the exhale, that heaviness of your head onto this big bone that has feet that you can rest into. Take another breath and just imagining now a little softening of the muscles behind the eyes. Maybe on the next exhale, a softening of the tongue at the bottom of the mouth. And even a softening through the esophagus, all the way down the throat. A little softening. Those muscles that work hard every day. And as they soften, now we can imagine our pelvic bone. You can keep your eyes closed or open. It's up to you. Sometimes easier to imagine these pelvic bone when the eye is closed that also is, well, it's shaped like a bowl with a lot of sort of muscle at the bottom. And the bone itself, as we know, is sit bones, and they're also shaped like little feet, little elongated shapes right in the bone. So the feet of the pelvis, the sit bones, As you keep this breath moving, let's imagine now that all the weight of your spine gets to settle on those exhales into this pelvic bowl. The weight is transferred down vertebra by vertebra, and even the weight of your internal organs gets to rest, keeping that chin a little tucked so that the head continues to rest into its support. And now, like a sandbag, and the sand starts to settle, the weight of your body gets to settle down into this pelvic bowl. Feel the weight going into those bones, the sit bones. We get to rest our torso and our arms and the weight of everything into these bones. Allow that to settle. See what happens. And it may not. Just stay with it. And let that breath move in and out of you. And now the feet get positioned on the floor. Just notice what you're noticing down there. Might be some connection of bare feet or some socks on there. But just feeling into the hardness of the floor slightly by engaging your feet in a little push from heel all the way up into toes, one foot and the other, just getting into contact so that your body knows that the support is there. A lot of information moves from the low body up into the brain to let it know that support is there. We want to give it some evidence of this. And now softening the feet a little and letting the weight now, tucking the chin, letting the weight of the head settle into that bone once again. Another deep exhale when you're ready to settle the rest of the body once again into the pelvic bone. And now the weight of the legs very gently start to settle little by little, softening the inner thighs. Anywhere you're holding, allow the knees to let go. Feel the weight of those big thigh bones, the biggest bones in the body. And all the weight of that now in the knees, and everything gets to settle down into the feet, underneath the toes, big toe, underneath the little toe, and just in front of the heel, just in front of the back of the heel. Let the weight come into these points, just imagining that they're like little plugs plug into the ground. 3 prongs, and the weight settles. And know that truly our energy and everything that protects us comes from this ground below us, this larger system, this living system underneath us. It supports us and it holds us with the force of gravity, never letting us go. Right from the very first breath, the ground was there, supplying everything we needed. The support that we learned as we crawled on the ground. We developed a relationship with the ground. All the play that we did on the ground as small people. And gently just letting yourself rest the whole body, transferring all of the weight down into the ground, knowing that this beautiful system below us has given us all of the water, the oxygen, the food, the shelter, the clothing that we've needed since that first breath. And know the wind is moving through your lungs, and the power of the earth is keeping you full of nutrients, minerals, and know that water flows through you in all the forms. Know that the elements live within you now, even fire, the warmth generated, and feel supported. And tap into this in those moments where you know you need to show up for someone else. And you can draw on the strength that is yourself, your structure, and beyond. Thanks for listening. Always a pleasure.